friends, excuse me. I got so many questions over the last couple of days and weeks because I'm posting so many items that I design for my 3D printer. And since from origin I'm a paper crafter, um, I started 6 months ago with 3D printing, and I know there are loads of way better videos, way better edited, and stuff like that. But since you guys asked me, I wanted to tell you what I've learned over the last 6 months. And the most asked question is, what do I need to start 3D printing? To show you a couple of things and items that I designed, like spools, like an original memory decks, like a fancy one. I made shells. If you want to see everything that I designed, sorry, I'm going back and forth. I digress. I wanted to show you my other cards. I made a trolley. I only hope that I can show it to you like this. But if you want to see everything that I made, please visit my Instagram. I will post those links in the description box below. Or visit my Etsy shop, that's Nicole's Paper Crafts. What I've learned, and I put some things together so you can see what I've bought for my 3D printer when you want to start with it. I officially gave this printer to my husband. My husband has no hobbies, and he was like, oh, I think that 3D printing is fun. I want to give it a try. And so his birthday came up, and I had something like, you know what, I'm going to give him the 3D printer. But eventually he was like, okay, now I have one and I have no idea what to make. And since I'm a little bit more creative than he is, I had loads of ideas. My first one was a double-sided tape roll holder. I have another one that's very popular. I printed a lot of those for other people, but I needed one that could go into my windowsill, so I designed for myself another version. If you want this one, the print file is also in my Etsy shop available. What do you need when you start 3D printing? First of all, I have a Bambu, B-A-M-B-U Lab A1, L-A-B A1. That's the printer I bought, and the reason I bought that printer, one, it came in every video as best of a printer for that price point, and I honestly would have loved to have it 5 years earlier because I think it's an amazing printer, and it wasn't that expensive. What I did is I bought the printer with the AMS. So, and an AMS, for people who doesn't know, it's a holder that holds 4 of those rolls. And I will show you a roll. This is a roll of filament. And there are, wait a minute, because they are heavy, there are a lot of them. What I've learned, and I think that's a very important thing that I never came across in videos, so that's why I wanted to tell. If you pick a color, make sure it's one shade lighter than you want it to be. I noticed when you print something, it tends to get a little bit darker after printing. I think that's kind of logic because it's going to be heated, and when it dries, yeah, you see color difference. I didn't print this one with this one, but you see that it's not totally the same color. I have a roll that's almost similar to this, but it tends to be a little bit darker. So if you're really fussy like me regarding color, make sure to take a little itty bitty lighter color than you want it to be. This is also something I wanted to test if I could make my own stencils with the filament. And as you see, it's bendable. This is just PLA, so no PETG or whatever, or ABS, or all the other different kinds of materials there are. I'm only using PLA, so I do not have all the other ones. I'm willing to go and test with those, but I'm not that far yet. So, what do you need? You need filament, and I have about 24, 26 rolls right now. Because if you have one color, you want 5. If you have 5, you want 10, etc. Rolls cost in the Netherlands, I can only say it in euros, but in between, well, let's say 18 and 30, and you can make it way more crazier. A few days ago, I got an order from a lady who wanted something that looked like wood, and normally there's 1 kilo on a roll, but that roll was half a kilo, so half of it, and it cost about 45. So it was very expensive. What do you need? These are the items I think you need when you buy a 3D printer. So, a scraper, and this one came, if I'm not mistaken, no, this one I bought on AliExpress. It's just a scraper for your build plate. And I will take one because on AliExpress you can find a lot of build plates. If you buy a printer, this is a build plate, and it has like a grainy texture on both sides. AliExpress is your friend in this case because there are so many different kinds of build plates with fun structures. I even saw that it's possible to get your own texture. You can let them be customized with your own logo in it. All things I need to investigate more before I'm able to say stuff about it. But for now, this is my most used plate. I have smooth ones too. I will do that in another video, but I wanted to give you a rundown on what you need. I've bought 2 new nozzles, and I've bought mine on AliExpress, just so you know, because the original ones are very hard to get, and I wanted an original one, but I couldn't find it. So this is a brand new one I bought on AliExpress. This is a cover that covers your nozzle, and the nozzles look like this. And I don't know if my camera picks this up, but this is 0.6. At this moment, I only use 0.6 and 0.4. Most of the projects I'm printing is with 0.4. But if you take filament with like a grainy structure, I recommend highly to print it with 0.6, else your nozzle will be getting clogged a lot. So that's something I've learned. So I have 0.4 extra and a 0.6 extra, and that's purely if a nozzle gets clogged, I can change my nozzle quickly, let my printer go on with printing, and make sure that I clog the nozzle while my printer is still going on. What I also find very handy, and I think these are used in nail art and that kind of stuff, is this kind of container. I bought mine also on AliExpress, and it has like, how do I call that? You can push this in, and every time you push this in together with your microfiber cloth, you need a good clean microfiber cloth. You push on this, let me call it a lever, I don't know. My English is limited. It disperses or ejects a little bit of alcohol. You need alcohol and I have a bigger bottle now, from 70% or higher. And that's to clean your build plate. So after every print you do, you need to put a little bit of alcohol on your cloth and clean it, because I don't know if the camera picks it up, but there is a light sheen in the middle of my build plate, and that's the residue the PLA leaves behind after printing. And you have to take that off, because if you don't take that off, your next project won't stick to your build plate very well. And trust me, it happened to me too, and then I investigated what the problem was, and I discovered I need cleaning or rubbing alcohol. I do it in a container like this. It's easy, and I can use it quick instead of trying to open this bottle and flip it around, and that's why. Also, a tool you need, I believe in English it's called a deburder. I'm not sure. It takes off sharp edges. Let me show you, because I just printed a new design that I made, and this is a memory decks box. I have the memory decks machines made, but I know there are people who like those boxes too. And sometimes your printer leaves behind sharp edges, and yeah, you can hurt yourself. So what you do with the deburder, this is still a sharp edge, you put it on the edge and you pull towards you, and then it takes off a little bit of filament, but it makes your project not as sharp. See, you get these kind of curls if you do it well. It takes a little bit practice working with this, because the top swivels, but this is interchangeable, so you can take one out, and if you buy one you get 5 of these blades extra. Again, I bought mine on AliExpress, and it's such a satisfying thing to do, to take these off. Then what you also need are some, I believe you call them nose pliers. I have a big one and a small one, and it's to take off your supports. I'm going into supports in another video. This is just about what you need, this video. What you also need is a good set of files. I bought mine on AliExpress. No, I don't have any stock with AliExpress or stuff like that. I just bought it there. We have a kind of dollar store where they sell those too, but I was too lazy, so I ordered them online. What you also need is instant glue and a lighter. And this lighter comes in place when you use filament that became too wet. And I'm going to talk about that in the next video. That's all about filament and what I found out. But since the most asked question is, okay, what do I need when I start with 3D printing? These are the items I can't do without if I make a 3D print. So a microfiber cloth, new nozzles, a scraper, etc. I hope this video is helpful. If you have questions for me regarding 3D printing, let me know. I'm not sure, because I'm new to this all too, if I can answer them, but at least I want to do my best. So if you have questions about build plates or filaments or whatever, let me know, and I will do a second video for you guys. I hope this was helpful. I wish you all a nice day, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.